Hello, welcome to today's edition of Pegasus Test. On today's edition, we're covering Stage 2 of Finnish Brutality 2023, Watch Your Step. Very appropriately named stage. You had two distinct things you had to do on this stage. You started out the vehicle in an MRAP type vehicle, so kindly donated by Sisu, and you got to fire on the move as you moved across the range. And the firing at this point, you're not on the clock. What you're doing is collecting bonuses, and I believe it was 5 seconds of bonus, or?
I believe it was either 5 seconds. No, yes, 5 seconds.
Yeah, and you had 4 targets, and you could get up to 4 bonuses. Once the truck had reached the end of its run, you disembarked the vehicle, moved to the start box, and that's when the clock started. And that's where the whole watch your step thing started too. The field that you had to move through for the firing points was littered with green painted sporting clays, and if you stepped on those, it was catastrophic, simulating a mine. Luckily you didn't blow up for real, but what did happen is you immediately stopped, you got part time plus penalties for all targets not engaged, so a very high error thing for you if you're not paying attention. So once you got into the start box and the buzzer went off, you went to your first firing position, and there just get a couple hits downrange. Maneuver through the minefield to the second firing position, get your hits, same at the third. Now there was a rule that you or your firearm had to be in contact with the obstacle that you were at, so you couldn't just stand and deliver. You were required to get into a fairly awkward but stable position. When you got through your first track through the minefield, there was a sniper hide set up, and the wonderful folks at NZO Firearms, who we're going to be doing more videos about in the future, had one of their Car 21 rifles there in the 308 configuration. You had to hit a high value target, which was a bonus for you. Once you got that, you had to recover your firearm and negotiate back through the minefield, ending up back at your start point. In each of these transits, you had to find a way to get through there without setting off a mine.
When you're ready,
Alright, shooting from vehicles is beginning to become a staple of brutality matches, and I think that's absolutely awesome. The MRAP here provided by Sisu was incredible, and on this stage I think my gear did help me. Shooting the Steyr AUG, being a bullpup, it was biased in its weight factor towards the rear of the gun, and I think that helped counteract the bounce of the vehicle because I got the hits nice and quick on this, better than I've ever done from a vehicle before. And yeah, I was very happy with the performance of the rifle. I took the opportunity to reload here because the clock has not started for this stage. This portion of it was all about collecting bonuses, of which I got 4 worth 20 seconds total. Once you're in the start box and the buzzer goes off, now your 180-second part time has started. The field at your firing points and between it is littered with sporting clays painted green to represent the tufts of grass, as you see right there. And yeah, you step on them, it's a high price because your stage immediately ends. You get par time, and you get penalties for all the targets you didn't engage. So yeah, pretty high price to pay, which is the way it should be, because in real life, stepping on a landmine has a very high price to pay. Moving on here to the one-shot sniper with the KR-21. Excellent rifle. Used this before in Hotla competitions with SRA. Beautiful rifle. I did not make the shot. That's because the diopter on the scope was not adjusted for my eyes, and I was not seeing a reticle at all. So once I found the target, I launched it. My guess was wrong. That was all on the shooter, not the rifle. And we will be having future videos about this rifle on the channel. Again, here as I make the engagements, the awkward shooting position is due to the requirement of the stage that you had to be in contact with the obstacle either via the weapon or your body. And keeping my eyes on the ground to make sure I don't step on those mines, because you notice one right there. It's very easy to do. It turned out to be a pretty solid run.
Alright. Unload us up here.
That was the right time to run out of ammo.
Very much.
Awesome, thank you.
Time 9560. 9560. Yes.
Felt solid, is that a good time?
Yes, it's a good time.
Outstanding.
75 after bonus. It's pretty good, man.
Sweet, awesome, thank you. Alright, got the 4 bonuses, I was hoping for that, and my wish came true. Alrighty, now it's Matt's turn, and He ended up getting a couple bonuses on this as well. Again, I know I can speak from here. He enjoyed firing from the back of the vehicle. It was an absolute blast and a real challenge. The parting away angle is just makes for a good shooting experience. Again, Matt proactively reloaded here to get ready for the next stage, part of the stage, and the RO was quick on the button here, as you will see.
So, and stop!
As soon as he stepped in the box, the signal went off, and Matt reacted quickly, got his hits here, and he was also head down, making sure he did not get those penalties for stepping on those landmines. And this is definitely a stage where slow and steady was the answer, not going full bore and not paying attention to what you're doing. Price was high for stepping on the mine, so careful of your footing was the right answer here.
Hit! 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 Hit!
Now the cool thing here, this was Matt's first time ever touching the KAR-21, so give him a little helping hand about how to charge it. The same thing tripped me up the first time I used it at Taylor last year. But Matt went ahead and collected his bonus here, which was worth 15 seconds instead of 5 seconds per target downrange. So good on Matt here. He actually ended up getting more bonus points than I did, even though he made fewer hits. Now, point here, you'll notice Matt's using his magnifier for these engagements, whereas I didn't. He definitely felt it was an advantage. I felt no need for the magnifier at this distance involved, also partially due to the fact that the lighting conditions were such that the magnification wasn't necessary, which under other conditions it very well could make the difference.
Hit! Shit. Hit! Retain the magazine before the last shot.
Yeah, retaining your mags was a requirement of the match.
Yes. Hit it!
Matt, how'd that work out for you on RO day?
Went well. So I made 2 initial hits in the movement. Once I disembarked, it was pretty much an immediate start time for me. And overall, it was interesting because I found that having to pay attention not only to shooting, but then actually pay attention to where your foot placement is, definitely threw me off. But I mean, I powered through it. Shooting that NZO rifle was outstanding. I made my hit, so I was quite happy there. And then making your way back. Overall, it was a fun stage. It was a quick stage, but it was interesting to look at the fact that you're used to making your shots and then just moving quickly to the next position. You could do that, but if you missed your footing, you're hitting a mine and then you're out. And we saw a couple competitors that did hit the mine.
Yeah, we did, and that was devastating to their score. Both of those competitors was on the return trip, so that was a minimum of 6 penalties right there for those guys, plus par. I mean, that was a killer. My run was pretty successful too. I was very happy. This is a case where the last stage my gear worked against me. This stage my gear worked for me. I was shooting an AUG M3, basically a AUG with a NATO buttstock using Stanag mags and a 16-inch barrel. And the bullpup really worked. I got all 4 bonuses on the move with minimal expenditure of rounds. I have to double check it, but I think it was somewhere in the 15 to 20 rounds expended. I got all 4 targets relatively easily. Proactively, I changed mags before I disembarked the vehicle because I saw what happened to Matt the day before. The minute his feet hit the ground, the buzzer went off, and it was like, oh my God. So luckily I didn't have that. I had a more gentle start, but I definitely paid attention to my footing. And this is where paying attention worked for your advantage, because if you talk to any of the pro IPSC shooters, especially the rifle ones, they always say when you move, you look at where you're going. Had you done that on this stage, you'd have been parred out and taken all the penalties. So it was like, yep, I'm moving, and my head was down on the ground till I got to where I was going. And that was the key. Slow and steady won the race here, not speed.
Hit!
Alrighty, so 2 stages done, and after the stage you had to go to the Field of Glory to do the next Breacher Challenge, which was 5 minutes of push-ups in full gear.
7,
Yeah.
9,
That was a tough challenge, I'm not gonna lie. Push-ups have always been a problem for me because in the 6th grade I was playing football and managed to break both sides of my collarbone. So ever since that point, push-ups is more an exercise and how much pain I'm willing to endure much more than physical ability to do them. But you don't often do push-ups in full gear. It's a rare occurrence even in the military, so it definitely was a challenge here. I definitely paced myself. They said we could stop, so when the chance to stop came along, I took advantage of it and just did them in ever diminishing sets. I went from 10 to 5 to 3 to 2. Then at the end, I was belting out literally just one at a time. But the cool thing that occurred here and stuff, although about 2/3 of the people did more push-ups than I did, I will proudly, proclaim that I did more push-ups than Ziga from Polinar. Yes, he won the match, he won Breacher Division, he won Armored Division, but I did more push-ups than him. Only 4 more, but it's more. It's all that matters.
Listen, kids, don't break your collarbone in football.
How many push-ups Marines do in average in a boot camp? 7.
A lot more than I'm doing right now.
There you go.
Outstanding. How many was that?
Stay where you are. 53.
Holy shit.
We hope you found this coverage of Stage 2 of Finnish Brutality 2023 helpful and informative. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Tune in tomorrow. Stage 3 is coming your way.